So, hello everyone, and today the very important topic, as you all were demanding, about the prelims, the kind of more or less 2 months, that is 60 days left, and the exam fever, fear phobia, stress, anxiety is order of the day for everyone. It's something positive that it is not only you who is facing it, but it is with everyone who is a serious aspirant. It's not that I'm having GMA, ability and reasoning and English comprehension, so I will be able to clear it, and I don't know about GS. So it is not the story of the day, because the CSET exam is not a scoring, but it is just a qualifying one. We'll also be talking about it, but there are 5-6 vital questions in every student's mind. What are those? Number one, that whether I should give prelims this year or not. Emotionally, some may think that to fulfill my father's or mother dream, I have to crack it, come what may. But otherwise, if someone is emotionally engaged with other person, and the person is also giving civil services exam, and life is all about going together, so one has also filled the form and giving the exam, but UPSC is not recognizing such emotional engagements or such emotional family peer pressure, or you can say any legitimate pressure. It's a practical story altogether. Okay. Now, if you think that this year exam attempt will give you a kind of experience that can be used next year, then is it a relevant thought or not? If a smart student wants to do the same thing, what that smart student, he or she, or maybe LGBT category, third gender, if one is thinking about it, then what will be done? On 5th June, the person will be collecting the newspaper, the paper conducted by UPSC, and same paper will be attempted by that person without wasting that attempt. The person shall be waiting for the final cutoff, will be seeing or understanding the kind of performance, that whether one might have been there in the list to write the main or not. And all the coaching institutes are coming out with the cutoff in 2-3 days time, or on the very day, very exam day. So that's how it is. So the attempt has been saved. Also, the person is not having implications for the next year. I will tell you how it is when I am discussing this question in detail. The second question is that the cutoff, the comfortable cutoff, every day you are facing kind of motivation or demotivation as you are taking up the mock test. Oh God, my score is not more than this X or this Y, or with the person I am emotionally engaged with. Maybe the person is my siblings too, right? There is a more fight. Okay, so brother sister are giving exam together, they are having intense competition. Leave aside the other relationships, friends, roommates, competition is furthermore, not only from exam perspective, how many hours one is studying. So they will be showing you the sources. Okay, you have not read this. You have not read this. I am reading it. And because those references you covered for your exam, you could not qualify, that you realized later on. I can recall the scene of Three Idiot movie, that what was happening in the last night of the exam, one person was doing something. That is also irrelevant material. So distractions are more. And it is part of the process of the exam that one has to deal with. Right? And while collecting the kind of material, or in Hindi something termed as samagri, you have more than 100 books, and that became Havan Samagri for last right. So I need to tell you that 100 books in your room, 100 plus books, you are gone. A smart student will always be thinking about this third question, that what to study and what not to study. This what not to study is something more important than what to study. Because to remove the pressure that these many things we have to understand, we have to read, we have to mug up. If you have removed the less important area, or the area which has to be kept at margin, then it is fine. For example, I'll tell you that how ancient and medieval history can be at times ignored for the prelims, because equality factor we cannot give for every topic. This is something called as equity, which has to be applied, because equity is telling that this important section can compensate this marginalized section if you give more time to that. So modern Indian history, freedom struggle, art and culture, very important. I'll tell you how it is working for your exam process. Then the fourth important segment is the exam hall performance. In exam hall performance, we have to deal with the question that whether we should fill the bubbles together after 1 or 1.5 hours, or whether we should fill the bubble just after the question has been attempted, or 4 or 5 questions have been attempted, then we should go for it. For CSET, we should consider all the English comprehension passage together, or what is called as unforeseen passages, or GMA section, or the reasoning section together, or the same flow which is there in the paper. What should be done? What if I am weak in GMA section? Some people may term it as math. It is not math, it is general mental ability. Math requires formula. GMA is not requiring any formula. A village person can calculate the percentage and all, given on, Jamidar and all very fast, because formula is not employed. It is general mental ability. Anyway, some person is very weak in English. So some person is otherwise good in GMA or reasoning. So there is a strategy that you have to discover, and mind it that this story belongs to you exclusively. It's not that you having that strategy, I will also be having the same strategy because you are connected with me. Ab to jeena marna saath. UPSC is not about that saath. You have to be individual, and that individual is that iron rod which will be standing in front of the poor man, that yes, this is the savior. And story starts from day one when you take up this UPSC train. Okay, fine. And I tell you that family people, anyone, you are leaving them for time being to grab them for forever, that too effectively and meaningfully. It's not that you are living with them but you don't have anything. So father is asking at the end of the day, beta, did you bring something? So you are saying nothing, because I need to be there with you, because I love you so much, my father, my mother. You have to leave them. Time being. It's not that for forever. Okay. So this we will be dealing with. Now the fifth is about the schedule. It's very important. In this, we will be talking about the time which is required in a day, in a week, in a month. What is that target? And also, we'll also be seeing the night time is good or daytime is good, because some people wants to live an old life, ullu wali life, raat bhar jag ke padhna hai. And some people are not murga chhap of that cracker show is there with murge ki mang and all. They are getting up and they are reading. We have to understand that, okay, if we are comfortable reading in night, we will be doing it. But what if on 5th June we are sleeping because our hormonal cycle is accustomed to that time or is attuned to that way, because we were always using night time to study, and in daytime we were sleeping up till 12 o'clock or 4 o'clock or 2 o'clock. One person, I know that one person was sleeping on the very exam day. And next day when he woke up, or I think same evening when he woke up, he realized that what blunder was indirectly or unconsciously done. Okay. So whatever it is, I'll tell you how you can manage this. It's not needed that you have to shift your study time to the day only when you are comfortable studying in night, because in India we are joint family setup. So many people are having their rooftop arrangement in night time to study. Temperature is also comfortable. Noise is also not there, right? So that luxury settings for exam is not available with everyone, but smart students can manage it in the most difficult situations and aversive situations and adverse situations. Okay. Now, so sixth, we can say miscellaneous question. Any doubt if you want to put, I then will be reply. Any other question you want to be listed here? Any question? No? So shall we go ahead? Okay. So what I will be doing, that I will be dragging this up so that I'm coming to the list again. So the first question is that pre this year or not? See, if we play with the dates, the exam is on 5th June. And the main exam is all set to begin as per the UPSC calendar, 16th September 2022. We are having more or less 3 months, around 10 days time. It is approx. Okay. And when main is there, you should not forget about the optional. And this optional is that entity with which or with that you have to marry. Okay. If you want to reach its soul, literally you have to marry this option. It will be there for whole life, impacting your personal life style. Sometimes history person will be different. The person who is having geography is different. The person who is having psychology as optional that I had is different. No one will like that person who is having psychology. Right? That's how it is. It's about anyone, including me. Right? So the pattern is slightly, having impact or effect on your personality. But I tell you, in this, preparing for UPSC exam is very, very important, because it is mother of all the exams. And mind it, that fees may be 1 lakh rupees, 2 lakh rupees. In your age, if you are a boy, you will be asking that, Dad, I need to have a bike bullet. You will not be telling the reason that why do you need bullet, but you need bullet. But father understand because he was also in the same phase earlier. If you are a girl, you will be liking to have a car or Activa or any other thing. But 1 lakh rupees expenditure, it requires petrol, diesel, the risk of accident that should not be there with anyone. I wish. And also, it can be stolen. But this investment, I tell you, is very meaningful. Very meaningful. Leave aside that whether you will be becoming a civil servant or an IAS, but whatever the level you have, it will be upgraded further. Whatever you do in your life, you will be very serious about it. The level of it done by you is or can be very, very good comparatively. This is what this civil service exam, because I tell you, a journalist who has prepared for civil services, who is otherwise good, has performed very well, because knowledge is power, right? A bureaucrat is no more a bureaucrat. One is infocrat. You understand? Why a tummy man or a politician who is not wearing a tie in India, wearing kurta pajama because his tummy is covered that way, is depending on you, because you are an infocrat. If this Akbar is not having Birbal, B for bureaucracy and B for Birbal, this Akbar is not able to look after the democracy. Maybe in terms of Karl Marx, this body can be criticized for negatives or positives. That once you are depending upon this body, you have no other substitute. But there is no other plan B. We are not seeking the good one. We are seeking the one who is relatively less bad. Okay? So this is how it is. So this year you have 3 months, 10 days with you between pre and main. In that, if you have not studied optional earlier before giving this prelims on 5th June, you are not able to manage. And after 5th June, you will be waiting for pre-result. And slightly, if there are chances that you could clear and you can clear, then you will be writing main without preparing for optional. What will happen? Tell me. You will be there in the list when interview call is there or not? I think for practical reasons, no. And when will you come to know about this? When will you come to know? Next year. And that time, next prelims date is honking you. And you were in that tune, wasted full year. And okay, might be that 1 out of 1,000 who could not prepare for optional also cleared it because of this factor. This is also something that you cannot deny. Then interview, whole, and the interview result is coming 10 days or 15 days before the next prelim stage. Whole year is lost. It's not about pre, that when you are going to see a candidate for your marriage, apart from the acres of land your parents are having, this is also an admit card of UPSC that I appeared UPSC, so I am the best suitable person for this girl or boy, whatever, apart from the other qualifications in India. Right? Some people are having this. So I feel that be real, be you, be original. People will respect you. So prelims is not the story of the day. It's about the entire context you have to look at. And just understand this, there is no strategy and no preparation for prelims. You can prepare for mains. And on the basis of main exam, you can start practice for prelims. This is something one has to understand, that there is no preparation, exclusive preparation for prelims. The main exam is to be prepared, and on the basis of it, you need to sharpen your skills, you need to sharpen your cognitive things, capacity to understand this prelims stage. Right? So, I think if you are understanding it from the close quarters, now you can understand that clearing prelims and giving you the dopamine effect in your body, that okay, I have cleared prelims, that what do you think about me? So at least what you have done, the other counterpart of yours are having vitamin D day and night in the garden, not alone with someone, and you are converting your life into black and white temporarily. So you have to decide that February 14 is a real day for you in the life to come genuinely, or it is a mother father day for you. Parents day, it is Matra Pitra Divas. In Indian culture, this day is taken as. So because I understand that this is a job, this is a preference for you, and you will be winning bread and butter on the basis of this success. And on the basis of this success, you will be having a settled life, right? So it is not an exam, it is sometimes a dream for a person. Okay. So I think this question is very much clear. Some people are in their last age, like 30 years or so, because they were in private sector. For them, I will say that please give, because it is like that. Some people are in their 26th. If you minus 6 attempt, so they are in the running, they can give. I'm talking about the person who has completed his or her graduation, right? And 21st year is running, one can give. But provided optional has been prepared or not. And this optional, if it is humanity optional in nature, then it is fine. Otherwise, if optional is technical, sometimes math, physics, or like that, furthermore, story can be complex. Okay. And I will tell that becoming an IAS or a civil servant in tender age, like 21, 22, 23, is good, because the dream of every civil servant, especially an IAS, is to be cabinet secretary, the father figure for it, the civil servants. So when in Lavasna, I have gone to Lavasna many a time. So one is at the age of like 30 and one is in 22. Huge gap. Of your friend, sometimes children are coming to meet in the probation period itself. You are not able to mix up. So there is a Gyan Chilla, wherein the classes are imparted in Lavasna. Library is also there in that premises. So some people are spending their whole day in library, and some people are in their own colorful life, because it was an exam for them. And for you, it was something which is belonging to you. That is academics and academics and academics. Okay. So I think we need to go for the next question. The next question was, if I am forgetting anything, please make me recall that. The cutoff. See, there is no standard UPSC cutoff before the exam. It is a floating wall. It is not that you need to top this exam, right? That Ram or Ghanshyam, I need to top. अरे तेरे नंबर कैसे ज़्यादा आ गए, मेरे भी आएंगे. No. In exam hall, oh God, you scored this much. I will see that. No, cutoff. And how cutoff is decided scientifically, the vacancies. So this year, I will say that I think, if I am correct, these many vacancies are there because of IRMS vacancies have been included. Last year vacancies were around 734 like that. So that is why 1800 plus candidates has been called for interview this year. Relatively less less number of candidates, because the number of candidates are decided by UPSC following a straight jacket formula. What is that formula? For example, around 10 lakh candidate filled the form, but 50% of it, 45% or 55% relatively, 5 lakh will be appearing in this exam. UPSC had in its recommendation that the person who is filling the form should be resulting into the fact that one has attempted one year or 1 year exam, because it has to arrange the centers and all, fetching the admit card. For female, no fee, right? So for them it is an administrative exercise. So 50% people, so serious people are very less, I tell you. And out of this only, serious student you will be finding 1 lakh. Those who have prepared for optional, 25,000. So I tell you, this 25,000 and this, out of this India, earlier which was population factory, but we are understanding that it is not good. We are progressing everywhere in inflation and in population, but not in terms of GDP. It's really not good for our future generation, right? We need to justify this. Okay, so only 25,000. This story is very, very, very simple. And if these many vacancies are there, we can just understand that these vacancies are 1,000, right? For the main stage, whatever the vacancies we have, 12 to 13 times of those vacancies, candidates will be called for main. They will be clearing prelims, right? And after that, for interview stage, on one vacancy, 2 to 3 candidate is called. So here 2.5k to 3k. It may be 2,000 also, and UPSC may justify that because of time was less, corona after effect, like that. Okay, so this year small window, but because of the fact that they had to conduct this prelims exam after postponing it, I think because of the corona reason exclusively. Supreme Court having the presentation from the parents that my child is a corona warrior, he or she could not get time for preparation, so it should be postponed. But court said that no, for one we cannot. But for the flood affected people, the one who was having the 32 years of age and having the last chance that time, extra attempt was given only for that fact, but not for other reasons, right? So this is a story. So you can understand that cutoff is decided on the basis of the vacancies and the hardship of the exam, right? And I tell you that for cutoff, how many categories you know? General, EWS, OBC, SC, ST, then person with benchmark disability, 1, then 2, then 3, and then 5, right? PWBD, person with benchmark disability. Earlier, this category was called as physically handicapped, but after the national health policy, it has been recategorized and some new disabilities have been included. That includes acid attack victims, dwarfism too, and like that. And because it is a matter of curiosity for you too, so these people are having problem with their vision. मोतियाबिंद ना हो, यहाँ पे इसको पूरा कलर करना जरूरी है. So they are having some partial thing or full, right? They are having some problem with their ear, right? Hearing problem, and they are having some problem related to ortho and their movements. The fourth category here I have not included because it is related to mental illness, and if you need to be a civil servant, this at least is required, and not this, the gray matter only, the outer layer of your brain. Mind is different, mind is software in you, but brain is something, the anatomical structure, right? And PWBD 5 is mix of these, right? One or more in the above category, right? So that is why it is justified. So in the four, exclusively the mental disorders are there. I am not talking about RG, right? Who may not clear this exam. Who is RG? I really don't know, but maybe a political figure of a party. That's how it is. Okay, right? People may satirically call him as Pappu. Dimples are also there when that candidate, political candidate, is laughing. Okay, so that's how it is. Now you understand this. Last year, if we talk about the cutoff in the last 3 years, the cutoff is in the range of 90 to 100, which was more than 100 earlier. Okay, now this cutoff may be 92, this cutoff may be 98, like last year. So how many questions you have to attempt, that we will be seeing in the exam hall performance question. The EWS category, which has been recently introduced in last 2 years, we have seen the cutoff relatively. So 3 to 5 marks lower than the general one. In OBC, again 3 to 5 marks in comparison to the general category. Sometimes OBC cutoff can be more than the general one. If the candidate, OBC candidate, are in their last age, 32 years of, sorry, more than 32 years, and they could not be otherwise accommodated to the general category, those who have scored at par the general candidate, because this is a policy of UPSC. Rajasthan episode is different, but it is otherwise a story that if you are 33, 34 OBC candidate, if you have scored more than the your category, OBC category, and more than the general category candidate, then you will not be accommodated as OBC one, sorry, general one. So here the cutoff will be inflated. Okay. Now, if we talk about SC, the gap can be 12 to 15. Furthermore, it is less for SC ST. It may go down to up till 20 marks, and for PWBD it is 25 to 30 marks, right? But you have to decide that which category you are belonging to. But I am talking about the general one. And see, 50% of the paper you need to solve, 50% marks you need to have. How easy this exam is, mother of all the exam. If you need to become an IAS, in the final cutoff also, 50% you are an IAS. How easy this exam is. NCERT books you need to read. How easy this exam is. Newspaper that you are seeing from your childhood phase, how easy this exam is. But only the smart student can understand that what not to study. I'm coming to that. Only 2 kg or 3 kgs books. Not books, the papers. What paper it is, in what category we can keep them as book, classroom notes, or handwritten notes, I'll tell you. Okay. Now, if we talk about what to study and what not to study, then that should be the third question. That should be the third question. So in that, I told you that what not to study is more important to be identified, so that you can remove it and then you can go for the important sections. So what all areas are asked in this exam? You can enlist them. So for example, geography, environment and ecology. Then history and art and culture. The culture word is written in your syllabus. And then social and economic issues. Okay. Then we have polity, constitution, and governance. Though there are 9 heads technically in the UPSC syllabus, but I am broadly categorizing them. Then there is actually general science, but nowadays it has lost its meaning much, but it can be termed as science and tech. Okay. And along with this, I am writing in a very small word, that is current affairs. These are very small words, right? So, any other broad category I have forgotten here? Nothing? So, international relations head is not there in the prelims syllabus. We cover it in current affairs. It is in GS paper 2 in mains. Now, the smart student like me who doesn't want to study at all, but want that my marks should be there, I should be there. I will think that what are the administrative arrangement for this exam. The administrative arrangement for this exam is that along with civil service exam, there has to be Mowgli service too with this Indian Forest Service. And if you need to be into that phase or that life, then you need to understand the forest, soil, everything. So at least 30 to 40% of the question should be from that area. And can you tell me this service and these many headings, what all areas are very important? Environment, ecology and geography, and also indirectly forestry, which was the newer area, right, in last 2 years. Seeing all the nature of the questions at the prelims stage, we have identified. So 30 to 40 questions percent, that's a big chunk, right? So how many questions you can understand from this segment? 25 to 30 or more? It can be 30 or more if we go as per the percentage. Now, these two sections I have taken together. From history, you can for time being keep ancient and medieval at the margin. But here, modern Indian history, and in that modern Indian history, freedom struggle, right? Freedom struggle is very, very important, and art and culture segment, very, very important. All in all, you may find 15 to 20 questions out of this. Now, from social and economic issues, you may find 10 to 12 questions. From polity, constitution and governance, because these two, social and economic issues and polity, current orientation is more. So one sentence can be there from science and tech area, another sentence can be related to the constitution or the government schemes. So there is a mixed nature. But I'll say that around 12 to 15 questions, because I cover this topic in class, so I understand the gravity and the flavor of the polity and especially governance from the current affairs perspective for prelims. It's very, very important. Okay, and from general science, the questions from the human body, 8 to 10 questions were asked, but now it has lost its relevance. But we cannot say that the snarl move of UPSC may go that way, that uh, after 2 months we may find the questions from that segment too. Okay, so but yes, science and tech, that defense, the new equipments, new policies, around 10 to 12 questions, and rest all questions will be there from the current affairs. Current affairs is something which is umbrella figure covering all the things. Okay, now what you have removed from this segment: ancient and medieval history. And what else you have removed? The social issues, Indian society, IR. You need not to focus it. From current affairs perspective, you may find it. But say for example, Ukraine issue is going on. In our channel, we have covered it in length, and the Analyst Weekly, that is the newspaper launched by our institute, is also good, right? You might have read it. So categorically, the question may be maybe not from the current taste, but about the NATO, right? About Wano, right? About the societies living in Ukraine. So it will be a conventional in nature, a question, the fodder in the question, but you have to keep a watch on it. I'll tell you that how memory and intuition, the power of subconscious mind, plays a vital role at the stage of prelims. Now, apart from this, what all area you have removed? You need not to be a gentleman at the prelims stage. So ethics is totally removed. At the prelims stage, you have to be, a kind of rough man roadies for prelims. Come what may, I have to be there. Okay. Yeah.
This ethics, I think in 2015-16, some ethics questions were also asked in prelims examination. I'm not continuing that.
No. After the CSET controversy, the aptitude controversy was also there. So UPSC has discontinued it, and actually in the prelim segment, every year there is a challenge and representation in court that this question is having more than 2 answers. It is very hard for UPSC, given the fact that it is an integral body. It has not disrupted its exam cycle so far. That is why it was hard. So they have come to a point that they need to make this exam more rational, right? So if we say that this objective stage of prelims is becoming more subjective day by day, so some person is lost into the meanings that what this subjective arena is all about in the objective frame. But the question, when you see the language, say for example the concept of liberty, right, they have asked at the prelims stage, it is very hard to understand the real option. There may be two options, and UPSC after the representation has also admitted that yes, that was the mistake, right? One representation was from my student only, but not to deviate from this prelims strategy topic, I'll be discussing it at some other stage, but in this channel only I have a video for the controversial question asked by the UPSC. You can see that. Okay. Now, so this is all we need to understand, and also you need to understand one fact, that you have 2 months time you have to see the importance of that particular section. So what all area you will be covering? The geography, environment and ecology and forestry, and also modern Indian history, in that the freedom struggle, art and culture, the polity governance, the conventional section, the classroom notes, that the dictation I have given, right? The track record shows that more than 8 to 9 questions have been asked straight from my classroom dictation that I have given you. That is the statement that have been told by the selected students to me. I did not know about it, and I did not actually cross-checked it ever. Okay, then what all areas? Your own notes that you have made, but yes, the section, if I come back, then the social and economic issues from the current affairs perspective, right? And current affairs. But if we just discuss about the sources, so this is a coaching industry. You will be having many sites, this and that, which can shake, uh, which can result into the fact that we are forgetting our name, and on the very night when exam is to be there next day, we are asking ourselves that who am I? Oh, Amavasya ki Kali Raat. So that's how it happens. So I tell you, the authentic site PIB is there. All India Radio site is there. newsonair.gov.in. You can always refer to it. And also you rely on your own notes. If you have made the current affairs topic your notes, right, you need to revise it. It is a time you need not to go for the new information. Also, I tell you, when you are attempting the mock test, don't test yourself again and again. Solve it. Right? What does it mean? It means that 100 questions are there and you have 120 minutes. You have 120 minutes. So you have 1.2 minute for one question. But while solving it, please give 5 to 7 minutes. This is something which is very important at this stage, when you need to go for at least 2 to 3,000 questions. At least. If you are going for 4,000 questions, I am very happy. But solve it. Solving means after solving the question, you have written 2-3 lines, and that you will be revising. That is very, very important. And it is a time when you need to go for the mixed questions pattern. It's not that polity exclusive test, economy exclusive test. No, mix also is very, very important, because the snarl move, the brain is to be tuned with. This is the time. And if I connect my next question to it, the negative marking and exam hall performance. That was the fourth question, if I am correct. Am I correct or not? In exam hall performance, I'll tell you about anxiety, the negative marking, the time management, right? In the time management, I can take you out of it. Out of 100 questions, can you attempt 100 out of 100 given the fact that there is negative marking? Answer is just negative. And given the fact that earlier the cutoff was between 90 to 100 range, maybe 92, maybe 98, you have to be at least 50% of it, 50 questions around, to be in the safe domain. Yes or no? How easy this exam is. But if you can go for these 50 questions outrightly and you will not be attempting any question that you have doubt about, can it happen that out of 50, 50 are correct? Answer is just negative. I have not come across any case which says that sir, I had more than 40 questions correct in the first journey that was completed in 1 hour out of the 2 hour, because I have to reach to the last question, filtering out that what all question I know with all confirmation that yes, it is the case. So I tell you, what is this UPSC frame all about? Every question is having 4 options. UPSC want that the person who is not serious, who has not prepared well, should not be there in the list and should get 0. It's not that it should be a penalty for the one who is serious, but UPSC want that a non-serious person should not disrupt the one who is very serious. So, if one is thinking that let me play a Mata Rani game in the exam hall and let me play a Sikka, head or tail, something like that, or I will be having one thing. So A for apple, B for bada apple, C for chota apple, and D for do apple. 25, 25, 25. Okay, this is what the probability going on. 25 correct, because it was like that. These all are wrong. Or these are correct, these all categories are wrong. Then what will happen? 75% wrong, 25 correct. The 1/3 is the penalty. So out of these 75 question wrong, 25 marks will be deducted from the score. 25 questions mark, it means the 50 marks. And out of this, how much is the score? 25 questions, 50. So 50 minus 50, बड़का 0, आप बन गए hero. You understand that? This is what the smart play of UPSC. Now, I tell you, this exam is all about taking calculated risk. In exam hall, what will happen that there will be 4 cases exactly, that you know this, and this process of elimination has eliminated the 3 optional. Okay, and you may reach 35 to 40 questions in the first journey of the 2 hours exam process, and which should be completed in 1 hour 15-minute time at max, or if exam is very lengthy, then 1 hour 30 minutes. 30 minutes should be left for those questions which are coming up. And in the second category, what may happen? I can just make it like that. You think that there are these 2 are correct, and these 2 I am not sure of. What you can do for that question, you can put a question mark, right? This is the second category, and you have reached those number of questions, those are having question mark on their head, after 1.5 hour or after 1 hour 15 minutes. In the second journey, you will be seeing them, and how many questions can be there out of that category? No, around 38. Around 38. 38 I have written categorically, but it may be again 35 to 40. And in third category, what may happen? You may reach a question wherein you think that out of these 3, something is correct, but I am able to eliminate only this. how many questions can be there out of, means and what sign you can put it there. It can be any sign. You can put it like this, double question mark. Okay. Now I tell you, after having this calculation, and for this around 10 to 15 question you have, for those category of question wherein you have this doubt, only one is eliminated, three are left. So I can tell you this, that the fourth category, I am just marking it with red, and here it is, that all the segments I am not able to understand, and that question should be put as this. And how many questions? Again, around 15 question, 12 to 15 question. So if you are deducting this, that you need not to attempt 85 questions around straight way, and out of that 35 to 40 questions you had to attempt in the first journey that you are sure of. Then after that, maybe 30 to 40 questions. So 40 plus how much? 35, 75, then plus 10 more questions from this category. This is the one. Now I tell you that out of this, if the head is having virality effect, you can have water also. That's not an issue. Okay. So out of this 38, as per the rule of probability, if we are going, half of them will be wrong. So how many are wrong? 19, and 19 are correct. As per the rule of probability, what will happen here? Tell me. So for one question, you are getting 2 marks. For one question wrong, you are having this effect. So 2 questions you have attempted, but what is the benefit out of it? One is correct, one is wrong. 1.34 marks you are having this benefit. So if 19 questions are wrong, divided by 3, around 6. So how many questions you are getting in result? 13, 12 to 13. Yes or no? 12 to 13. What is the score out of 12 to 13? 24 marks in net. And that was the story, the guesswork. It's not that कि यहाँ पे ऊपर से कुछ something came, because I carried my favorite god's picture in my pocket, and because I had dahi and peda in the morning. It's not that. But yes, food plays a vital role. The food that comforts you should have in the morning. That is also another story. But I tell you, this is the something which is very, very important, and scientifically and psychologically speaking, this is the intuition game. This is the power of subconscious mind. You cannot mug up this entire world and you cannot carry it together with you, with you altogether. I mean to say that you will be having a hunch, gut feeling that okay, this option is correct. Somewhere down the line I have read it. I am confirmed. This is the intuition, and this is not something which is coming out of the bolt like that. Nothing. It is having a rational reasoning behind it, because you are very much organized in your personal life. That is why you are able to recollect it within that 2 hours time. It is not a matter of the fact that how intelligent you are, matter of the fact that how much you could think of in time. उसके बाद तो आप how much knowledge you have doesn't matter. I'm gone, story over. Okay, so this is something which is very, very important. Now, coming to another fact, that if this question which is having 3 options correct in your mind, one has been eliminated. Should you go for it or not? For example, you have attempted 12 questions, and out of that, how many are correct? As per 3 wala category, not 50-50. How many? 4 correct, 8 wrong. Had it been the doubt between 2 options only, so 6. Now here 4 correct and 8 wrong. So what is the implication out of it? If we take it as 9, so around 3 questions, 4 are correct. The score is 8. What is the score that is to be deducted? Out of 3, 6 is to be deducted. If we are understanding it squarely, then the correct benefit is 2 marks. Life is not perfect. Search someone who is imperfect and make it perfect. Beauty lies in the one who is seeing that thing. Perception matters. Okay? So this is very, very important. I think you have understood that this all should be there. So the essence of the story here for this caption is that 1 hour 15 minutes, or at max 1 hour 30 minutes. First journey is over. In the second journey, wherein 20 to 25 minutes you need to take for these 2 questions, right? Then the story is there, but mind it that you have to attempt 80 to 85 questions. If you need to reach around 100 marks, so first case is there that dotted 50 questions you were confirmed with, you did that, which is not possible. Whosoever you are, whatsoever you are, you cannot do this. Right? Second case can be there that you have attempted 75 questions, and out of that 55 correct, 20 wrong. What will happen here? What will happen here? 55 correct means 110 marks, 20 correct, 20 wrong means around 7. 7 question means how much? 14. So what is the score here? 96. So you need to be above that. So it means what? Out of this, you have to go for around 58. And how many left? 17. Now it is fine. So how many will be there? Out of 58, 116, and here 6 question. Okay, I think 7 question or 6 to 7 question. The score will be around 100. Okay, if you go for 85 question, what can be the probability? 60 correct and 25 wrong. Around 8 question, and here from 60, 120 marks. So how many will be deducted? 16 minus 10, 104. Is it a real story or not? Calculatively, I am putting it that way, opening your eyes that this is how story is there. You have to have this intuition work. You have to have the capacity Means you have to increase the capacity of your subconscious mind. It always work, I tell you. So that's how it is. The real story has to be understood with a word of caution that you have to understand that whether this intuition work actually work in your case or not. Take an around 15 to 20 mock test, general mock test, just to understand that whether your intuition work is working fine or not. People had complained from me that, yeah, you don't study much, your intuition work like anything. No, it happens like that. We are not able to have this. I stopped telling my score to them then, because friendship, that matters, right? That's how it is. And I started, I don't know, I'm not filling this form, though I knew that I am filling the form. But till last day, I was telling them, maybe I'm not appearing in this exam because I'm not confident. Because I learned gradually that don't make noise, let your success should make noise. So society is doing that, this person is giving IAS exam or not, okay, so the queue is outside your home, okay, this candidate is quite eligible one for future arena. So anyway, now the last question, and in this question only, the time management, the schedule caption, I need to tell you, if that thing is understood by you, can we come for the schedule thing? For 60 days, when these are left with you, how will you be scoring? So what all things you are having in your hand, schedule wise, and the kind of sources also, I need to include it here. But for time, say for example, your senior is saying, I am studying for 15 hours. For 15 hours. Please don't listen to that Baba. I have life. That is more important. If I am not happy, I cannot make other person happy. This is a thumb rule, right? Come what may, I will sleep for 8 to 9 hours. World can wait. World can wait, right? 8 to 9 hours. In daytime also, if I get time, 45 minutes sleep. Mobile in airplane mode, right? So I make it 10 hours. It will be good. More probability that you will be having good chance. 10 hours. How many hours you are left with? 14 hours. In that, I just take out 2 hours time for the not meaningful task. Okay. The next important thing after sleep is food. If you're not having food in time and appropriate food, you won't be able to sleep. That is also something which is very, very important. Clean your room, right? I know boys' room settings, right? And student in general, they are in another world. Please give it. And along with this, if I include 30 minutes, please have little exercise within the room only, right? For girls, skipping is there. For boys, dips they can have. At least, Hanuman Baba, Utthak Baitak and all. This will work fine within the room only. No need to go out. Because going out, seeing someone, having some motivation, talking to the person, okay, this whole night you are having different orientations in your mind. So your own strategy is disturbed. Confine yourself to your own strategy. Then how many hours you're left with? I think 1.5 hours. Mobile in evening, not in the morning time, right? You are left, after all, 10 hours, right? I will say that for clearing prelims, study for 10 hours is also not important. Break it into 3 plus 3 plus 3. If movie cannot be there for more than 3 hours, can you imagine even this study time? that can be more than 3 hours. In psychology, something is called as interpolated time. You have to give time to your brain to absorb that information that you have come across, right? So 3 hours, please give at least 30 to 45-minute time in between. Probably you can eat and sleep every time. That is the best thing for these 60 days. And again 3 hours. So morning time, if you are understanding that in morning time, in the daytime you are studying, so 9 o'clock you are coming to the study table, 9 to 12. Okay, you can have food, and I can understand that from 2 to 5 again you can come to the study table. Then again in night, I think it can be 8 to 11, or it can be 9 to 12 too, or it can be even 7 to 10. Here also exercise, here also seeing the newspaper and all what is happening, but not now at least. But if you have given money for the yearly package, you can see the color pages of the other newspaper, because newspaper is not the story that we have to read. Because for my own satisfaction, I have Hindu, Indian Express, Times of India, and what is and what not. But I have not read the newspaper since last 15 days. But I should not have pretension that I did not have newspaper, that's why I did not study. I have it. It is my own fault. This is what is happening. And in the studies time also, in 3, 4, 5 days time, I was picking up the newspaper, right? Bringing out the important section from the newspaper, making a bunch of it, clipping it, then start reading it, making notes out of it, and just tearing it apart. I was feeling very good when I was tearing it like that. Oh God, it was really good. Okay, all negative energy, pent up feelings were coming out as if pressure has gone. And that is why this Analyst Weekly, we have started keeping in mind that important segment one is getting, which is a pioneering effort from our end, because it was not in this industry. And I think it will go good. And the video is also available on YouTube for the same topic that has been covered in Analyst Weekly. The questions have also been explained, and any other thing you can suggest us, we will be happy to include it. Okay. Website is also there of Analyst. Most important questions we are able to put, so that these questions, if can be there in the exam, will be very happy. But the hunch feeling is that those questions can be there and will be there, because nothing is coming from the sky. Everything is available here only, right? Now, I think you have understood this game. 9 hours is the realistic target time wise that you can give. Now in those 9 hours, what will you study? That 1 kg book you will be picking, which can put your existence into dark, or something else. What all sources you are having in your hand? First, the NCERT books. Now you need not to read the NCERT books for prelims. The new NCERT books are good for the mains. Old NCERTs were good for the prelims, but you need not to go for NCERT books. The standard books you need to go for, answer is just negative. Classroom notes. A big yes. Because this is a Sangam of Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati. All the books, current affairs, the experience of the faculty has been poured in. Okay. Classroom note, it is having earned proposition in your mind. You have written, given your important time of your life, especially of this colorful phase of your life. Right? Very, very important. Okay. This is the biggest proposition here, classroom notes. And added with the other notes that you have prepared while solving the mock test, any other thing. And revision time is very important. revise them time and again. Mains notes these are, and you can cover it like polity in 2-3 days time, whole polity book. 9 hours, 9 hours, 9 hours. In 27 hours, whole polity completed. But you cannot pick up any prominent book of polity. Maybe of Lakshmikant, maybe my book, right? It is available on Amazon. The feedback is good of the selected student, but I never knew that whether this book is good or not, right? So, but I teach, I feel good when someone says that that book is good. Any book. But again, I'll say that classroom notes you have written. Fine. Now, any other thing? Website. The private industry website, including ours, you may not believe, but the website like PIB that I just mentioned 1 hour before, and also the All India Radio website, and the gisted essence is available from the newspapers that also can be covered. Any prominent magazine can be covered, not from the prelims perspective, but from the mains perspective. The current affairs things can be covered from the mock test perspective, that you have attempted a question and you have seen the explanation. This will be giving you a good memory, and you will not be able to recollect every information while giving the exam in the examination hall, but that intuition, power of subconscious mind, that kahin padha hai ye, right? That's how it is. You understand that? Yeah. And make it a very interesting story, and you can use the different colors pen and underline them. That's how it is. So these all I can tell that classroom notes, again I will say that very, very important. Repeated revision is very, very important. You, whatever you have covered 70 to 80%, you need to revise it again and again. Make your strongs more stronger, and leave your weak areas as of now. Weak areas had to be worked upon earlier, but not now in these last 60 days. And about the CSET story, in last, I will tell that the GMA, general mental ability, not math, the reasoning, the English comprehension, you have to have 27 question correct. That is 66 point, you can understand 67. Now you have to understand that what all areas you have to cover given the strength that has been already built from school days time, or like that. You are having fear phobia from GMA or reasoning or English comprehension. Either of these you have to choose. But I'll say that for CSET, you must understand that negative marking is also implications. Okay, I'll not be talking much about GMA because it is, sorry, for CSET, it is not a big story for those people who are able to have success. They will understand it in a smart manner. Also, apart from this, there is one thing in the examination hall that you have to fill the bubbles that I was talking about initially. Some people are having that habit that let me cover the entire paper for all those bubbles again. I'll be going for 40, 50 questions together. No. After the question has been attempted, you need to fill the bubble. Right? Somewhere down the line, someone was saying that after 4 to 5 questions, again fill the bubbles. No. Just after the question, you need to fill the bubble. So you will be appropriate in that. Sometimes the mistake is happening. Earlier pencil was used, now pen is used. Yes, I can say that you can use the pencil in the beginning if you are having doubt in your hand, right? Because some people are having this mistake, but you have to sharpen that capacity too. You are not doing anything wrong because pen is to be used. Okay, there is nothing can happen, right? Some people are using whitener and all. Fine, it may work, but I will still suggest that please have neat and clean work here. Just after the question, please go for filling the bubble. It will be the best part of the story. And last but not the least, the person who is living whole life in night time one is studying, 10 days before the exam, that is 25th of May, please come to the day shift. Mock test you can keep, or your study time, right, in the morning shift for paper 1, for paper 2 afternoon shift, so that your hormonal cycle, your mind is giving the same energy on exam day also. On last night, on 4th, right, after 12 o'clock, it will be 5th of June. On that day, people won't be able to sleep. That is the biggest thing that may disturb entire year preparation, because sleep is very, very important. What you can do in daytime, you may sleep or may not sleep. If your center is far away from your home, go there one day advance, settle down there, see your center, right, so that all the questions related to your centers are over in your mind. Try to make yourself comfortable. Take the notes, handwritten notes, only the small notes with you. And it's not the purpose that you have to revise them. In night time, when you are not able to sleep, read them. And in daytime, you have not slept. What will happen? That while reading, your brain will be getting tiresome effect. Lactic acid will be there. Sometimes you will be falling asleep soon. This is one trick. I used to use it when I was not able to sleep. That's how it will happen. And in daytime, in morning, when hot days are there, in Delhi especially, try to use charge and all, which keeps you good. You know, your digestive system should work fine. And if you are fond of coffee or tea, on that day, please use it. In afternoon, also, please don't talk to anyone. If you are not having vehicle, you need not to go to away from UPSC. Please book a cab, pay for 2 hours rent, ask him to put on AC, please sleep. You need to recollect the energy. That is very, very important. This exam is nothing but a smart way to put whatever available time and energy with you. That is it. Right? It is just exam. In 2 hours time, you need to put the energy. Just recollect your energy. That's how it is. And please don't read anything. That won't help. You will realize after giving the exam that this preparation was of years. And today you need to prepare for the exam as if you are not giving the exam, and give the exam as if you have not prepared for this exam ever. Both the things are very, very different, I tell you. If you have understood this, that this exam preparation I am doing for my own satisfaction, not for the exam. All the gates are open. You have seen the movie. You are coming out of the movie hall singing the same song because you never thought that I will be memorizing this song. Had it been the case, you could not sing this song because you had already closed those gates of your brain. Here it is happening. Do it for your own self. Decide on 4th June whether you are going for this exam or not. Don't tell anyone that you are giving this exam, especially your family people. Your mother and father, they will be singing the song in the society, bringing more and more pressure. No, I'm not giving this exam. Don't tell that you are giving this exam. Even if you have cleared this mains and interview call is also there, don't tell them that you are giving it. And if at all selection is there, you can say to them, I did not give exam. I don't know how the selection fell in place. I will be putting case against UPSC that how can they put my name in the merit list? Then people will take you really. I tell you, this is how should be the story. It's not one day. It's not 1 year. It's one life lived in 2 years' time. Okay. So with these words, I think all the doubts I have addressed so far as the prelims exam is concerned. Anything you want to ask? Nothing? So thank you so much for being with me. See you again for the next topic that we can take. related to the mains and for the class also. Thank you so much.